Welcome to News Laundry, and I'm Joy Bhattacharjya, and today we have with us the captain of the Indian Under-19 victorious team, Unmukt Chand. Unmukt, welcome to News Laundry.
Thanks.
So how did it feel? I want to first put this out of the way, get the tough questions out of the way, or the questions everyone's asked you, so I have to ask you, so let me do that. What's all this controversy about college admission, not admission, marks? What's it all about? What is this attendance business all about? Why is there such a fuss?
It's quite overhyped actually. It was basically, I was short of attendance in the second semester, so I was not allowed to give the exams. So at the time of the exam, I went to the college, but the college didn't give me the admit card. So then I was not allowed to sit for 2 exams, but then I came back. I was in one of the IPL matches. I came back, went to the court, filed a petition, and then I got a stay order along with other of my sports mates. And then once I got the stay order from the court, then only I was allowed to sit for the 2 exams. And then this is how it all started. But after I came back from the World Cup, so this thing started.
Success changes everything, doesn't it? We had to ask that. We know that you've had this absolutely amazing run in Australia. But just tell me one thing: when you were sitting out there, Australia didn't happen overnight. It happened. It started a long time back. You've been captain of the India Under-19 team since 2010. Okay, from Ankit Bave, you took over. What from then did you have 2012? Did you have it in your sights कि हमें जीतना है ये वाला?
Well, it's a long journey. It started 2 years back. We were 15 different people from different states, but all of us came together as a team, and we've had some wonderful time. All of us have worked really hard for it, and we played 4 tournaments till now and won all of them. So this shows the commitment, and all the guys are really very hardworking, and they've put in a lot of hard work, and there's a lot of belief in the team. We've also had some boot camps, some outbound camps.
Yeah, I believe there was something very interesting. I believe you've had guys working on mental conditioning and strength. That's not normally something that's happened with the junior team. Tell us a bit about it. Apparently, you were doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we've had a few boot camps. Just before the World Cup, we went to Nagarhole Sanctuary, and there we did some team building activities and some adventurous stuff, something like trust walks and all, to build more unity amongst the team members, more cohesiveness, and I guess that really helped us, and it was something that we got a lot of self-belief from that.
You started off this tournament, and you're right. You've had a long run. You've won almost everything on its way. Then you come out here. You play the tournament, and the first game you went in, lost to the West Indies. It was close for a while, and then it didn't get close. What were you telling each other? What were you telling us yourselves?
Well, the best thing was we were very calm after that loss. Even as you look at the tournament, we faltered in the first. Faltered initially, then stumbled a bit, and then after the knockouts, we started peaking. So we've had this in the last 3 tournaments. We've peaked at the right time, and that is the best thing of this team. And if you look at the trend as well, we have lost in the first 3 matches, we've lost 1 match in both the previous tournaments. So that's why we knew that this happens with us. It takes us time to acclimatize. And so also going by the trend, we knew that it's okay for us. So we knew that we have 2 more matches to go. We're still in the tournament, and if we can take out positives from that match and don't do the same mistakes in the other matches, we can probably be going to qualify for the knockouts.
I agree, and after that, of course, you did. But you had this absolutely, completely nerve-wracking match against Pakistan. You were 120 for 4-5, suddenly 127 for 9. What happened, and what were you telling each other? What were you telling the players when they walked out?
Well, we never expected that to happen, but it happens at times. It's cricket, anything can happen. When Upper and Zol were playing, they were playing really well, and suddenly 3-4 batsmen got out. So all of us were really tense. It was a cliffhanger of a match.
Did you tell Sandeep anything before he walked out?
Well, I was telling Ravikant and all these people something, but they just got out. So I didn't. I thought I should not tell Sandeep anything. He's a quite experienced lad, and so I knew Harry and Sandeep. They've played quite a bit of cricket, and they know they can they won't falter under pressure, and it was only a matter of 12 runs, and the way they've done it was superb.
Absolutely amazing. And in the finals, 97 for 3. It's always difficult when runs are already on the board. Somebody's already put runs on the board in the final. It's always difficult to come and then chase, and then it wasn't a very small total. So at 97, 98 for 3, what were you thinking when you went out to bat? You had, there were almost 2-3 separate gears you had. So what was your strategy? What was your tactic?
Well, I was not nervous that time. Obviously, a little bit of jitters are there, but I knew that Smith is a good player, and when he came in, we've had some very good partnerships under such kind of situations before as well. And I also knew that the wicket was really good to bat on, and it was only a matter of one good partnership, and we would be done after that. So I just told Smith that to relax and just stay there for some time, and if he gets set, if he scored 20 more runs, then probably we'll be on top of them. So it was 97 for 4. I was just wishing that there's no fall off wicket till 125, because then 100 runs are left and the countdown begins. And as a fielding captain, I've observed this, that whenever the other team requires 100 runs, then the chips are down for the fielding team. Every 10 runs counts after that. So that's what was there in my mind, that it's only a matter of one big partnership and the game will be ours.
And then all those big sixes, where did they come from? You put them away and bought them out of storage for the finals almost.
Well, I was lucky enough to clear the field on that particular day. The first 2 sixes it just came automatically, but after that I was set. I had scored around 56 runs, so it was a time that I could accelerate, and I'm really happy that I was able to do that.
No, absolutely amazing. And did you know, apparently the whole Indian team was sitting and they was watching the finals, the last few minutes and all that. Did you get a lot of messages and all from them just after?
Yeah, we just got to know that the whole team was watching the match, and it felt really good. And I got a call from Yuvraj just after the match, and he was really happy. And also I got a call from Suresh Raina, and he told us that all of them were watching the match in the dressing room, and all of them were happy and wished me luck for the future. I also saw some videos, and Sachin, Dhoni and Virat, all of them were congratulating us, so it felt really good.
Amazing. So now you come back, and almost before you're done, there's another tournament starting. I mean, where do you get the time off? Where do you go off to next?
Well, after the World Cup, I've had 3-4 days of rest, and probably I'll be going for the India A camp, and then we're touring New Zealand on the 14th, so all the focus will be there.
And then you come back and Ranji Trophy starts, Ranji finishes, Dilip starts, Dilip finishes, Challenger starts, Challenger finishes, IPL starts.
Well,
only cricket.
It's good to be busy, and it's good.
Okay, fabulous. I'm going to take you back a few years now. So this is Unmukt, as in the under-19 winning captain, probably the most promising under-19 player we have today, talent of the future. When did you first realize that, hey, I can make it in this game? When do you think I'm good enough?
Well, I started playing cricket at the age of 4, and I was really passionate about it. And I always used to say that I'll play for India, just like that. So I had a lot of very good family support, and they've always helped me. And studies was also, I used to study as well as play cricket. Till 8th class, cricket was secondary to me. So it was never like cricket or studies. So both of them went in synchronization together. So that's why I never felt that I have to miss out on cricket if something happens or something. I've always wanted to become a cricketer, play for India, and I really do so still.
Do you break up your goals? Do you say, okay, I'm going to do this much, I'm going to try and play for the Ranji, then do you break it up like that, or do you have this big goal now, I'm going to play?
Well, that was the ultimate dream in the beginning, but now I've realized that it's not, I cannot do straight away, think of too far ahead of myself, so I probably would like to concentrate on one thing at a time. And right now is also the World Cup campaign is over, so probably the India A will be my whole focus on.
Okay, I believe that probably the only time in your life where you've not really got selected or there's even a disappointment was, I think, during the under 15 days where you didn't make it. So what happened? You felt you weren't good enough, or what went through your mind at that point in time? Did you think that maybe I'll not make it any further at this level?
I should have thought like that, but I don't know why I got even more determined after that. I was the highest run scorer in the trial matches, but still I didn't get a chance to be in the
Okay, so the
team.
story is slightly different then.
Yeah. So I was the highest scorer in the trial matches, but I didn't get a chance.
As the highest scorer, you didn't make it. Well, that tells you a bit about some of the great cricketers played in this part of the world, but I mean that's almost a universal problem. Yeah.
So and I was not selected, so I was a bit disappointed, but I knew this could happen. This happens initially, but it was okay. My parents tried to convince me, they tried to support me, but I was like, okay, it's fine, I know this, and probably if I score next time as well, then I'll get a chance.
They can't keep you out next time. You can't.
Yeah, that's what I try to make myself more stronger by saying that. And next year also the same thing happened, but eventually I got a chance, and then I scored 3 consecutive 50s in the knockouts. And then whatever the politics. After that, they can't afford to drop you. You reach a stage where they can't. Tell me something. Has being a modernite also helped? It's got a fantastic cricket tradition. People like Gautam Gambhir have played. I think Kirti has played. So many big cricketers. Does that tradition help when you're playing for school? It really does. I joined modern school when I was in 9th standard, and it really helped my cricketing abilities because, first of all, there's a lot of competition, and many of the senior players in my school team were playing for the state. So it really helped. I got to know what cricket is all about, what state tournaments are all about, and then I also played some competitive cricket, school competitive cricket, which I didn't get in the previous school. So it really helped me, and modern school really helped me, enhance my confidence. The modern attitude, you wear that modern attitude of that, and that really helps, and it really helped me, more, really boosted my confidence a lot.
And Stephens?
Same.
It's been good for you, the whole culture of being part of a big, successful institution.
Yeah, I do love being a Stephenian.
It's a great tag to have, as so many people would testify to. Quickly, when you made your Ranji debut, and it's really frightening because you went out there, you played your first match, and they get knocked out for 71. So they come in, they bat, they're 71. There's obviously a lot in the pitch, and suddenly you've got to go and open. So what was going through your mind then?
Well, nothing much because I had a very good under-19 season, and I was only 17. So I just said to myself that I have nothing to lose. So I have everything to gain, and with the likes of Virat and all of them in the side, so it really helped. Initially, I was a bit nervous, but after that, the nerves, I was very much normal after that. And I did play that day. Then the next day I came into bat. Again, I was normal. I was playing really well, but then hit a ball outside off stump and got out.
And then you got this big 150. How did that feel? Your first class century, was it big? It was really, it's quite a good attack actually. So
it is one of the best knocks I've ever played, and those were testing conditions. The wicket was treacherous, and that was the best knock I've ever played. It really boosted my confidence a lot. I started getting that belongingness feel to this Ranji team after that, because I knew that this was a very important knock of my life, and I've played it when the team needed it the most. And that day I was in my people call the so-called zone. I knew what was happening. Everything was going so slow for me, and I was playing according to my own will. Everything was controlled, and so that was probably the best thing that ever happened to me.
But there is, in fact, if people talk about you, what they say, and they often say, I'm sure your coach does as well, that Unmukt has all the talent in the world. It's that sometimes he doesn't convert those 40s and 50s into big hundreds. Is that something that your coach tells you? Or now you've started converting them so often that they don't tell you that anymore?
Well, I had this problem in the Ranji one days last season, and I got out on a couple of times on 30s and 40s, and even the Ranji matches I got on 80s and 90s. So couldn't convert the 80s, 90s into 100, and the 40s, 50s, and 30s and 40s into 50s. So I was struggling, and but then I spoke to Virat, and he scored 100 at Hobart that time. So I just said that I'm getting out in 30s and 40s, so probably I started thinking too much that time. So what should I do? Shall I slow my game, or shall I go with the flow? So he just said that it's important to just react to the ball and say to yourself that I am the best, and that's what he does. He told me. So that thing I just took from him, and just after that I just tried to do that, do the same things. And as I've seen in the past 1 year, the conversion rate has really
shot up.
Yeah, shot up for me.
Fabulous. Talking about Virat, and I just wanted to say the last real successful captain, under-19 captain from India was Virat. He's your teammate in Delhi. He's probably from same parts of Delhi. You know each other. How has he been? Has he been a big influence in your life as a cricketer?
Yeah, he has been. He has encouraged me a lot, and my first Ranji one days and the days was under his captaincy. So I've been really lucky to have him in my side, and he has really inspired me at times. I feel free to message him whenever he's not in town and not in India, and he does come to when the last time he was playing for the country, so he came and he was free. He came to the dressing room and did share some time with me. Spoke to me about cricket. So he really does influence the way I play.
Just cricket?
Well, mostly cricket.
Mostly cricket. Good enough, good enough. I'll take that as an answer. Mostly cricket is good enough for me. So tell me, that's Virat. The other is this, really huge thing like the IPL and the Delhi Daredevils dressing room. What's it like? Famous international cricketers all sitting around you. What's it like?
Well, it's been really good. Last 2 seasons, the Delhi Daredevils has really helped me. I've seen all these big players, and it's a great inspiration to be with them. You learn a lot, not only on the field but also off the field. You see them playing, practicing, their work ethics and everything, and you try to imbibe those things into yourself.
Anybody specific you see or seen something really different, or somebody very great?
Well, I've spoken to Viru and Warner at times, and they've really helped me out. Viru, I've spoken to him quite a few times, and even David Warner, he has really grown up as a person and as a player as well. I remember this time I was talking to him in the IPL, and I also remember the first time I spoke to him. So, the way he was telling me things, and he was just telling me that it's all about self-discovery, and now I know that what self-discovery was all about. This is what he said to me. I just knew that I could just hit the ball, but I was just a player of T20. But I started realizing it later onwards that I can even be more devastating in the test matches, because Viru had said that to him, because he just had to hit the ball that comes to him, and otherwise he has to leave the ball. So many things he told me about himself, so I could just feel the difference, what he was 2 years back and what he is now. So speaking to these players does really help. Has really helped me.
So just going back, do you have any, you have a particular Indian batsman, do you have any strong influences as a batsman? Is there anybody particular who you follow, you've modeled yourself on? Is there anybody like that?
Well, I've never tried to copy anyone. I've grown up watching Sachin. I've always loved watching him bat, and he has been the true inspiration. But of lately, the way Virat has been playing for India, the way he's been successfully chasing such big targets with such ease, is something really, his attitude is really infectious. So I do get a lot of inspiration when I watch him chase such targets.
Just a couple of other things. Cricket is, fortunate whether you like it or not, and you're a good looking young man, cricket is a bit of a chick magnet. You obviously get a lot of attention. How do you handle it?
Well, obviously after the World Cup...
You mean before the World Cup there wasn't any? I don't believe that.
There was, but after the World Cup it has increased even more. But it's okay.
In what way has it increased?
No, there's many people coming up and
What do they say?
They'll just say many things, but obviously they congratulate me for everything that has happened in the last 1 month. But it's okay. I'm not that sort of a person who will get carried away, and I've got really good people around me. So
do you take any advice from Virat about all this?
No.
No, that is not the right person to take advice on these issues.
It's not like that. I've got my parents are really helpful. My uncle is there. And I've got some really good people around me who keep cautioning me about things. So probably I know that I won't get influenced by all this.
Okay, super. One more thing, cricket is such a difficult career in the sense that, you're at the top of your game, you just keep playing it, and then one day, you have to retire and give it away. Does it bother you? Does it, make you feel that there's so much time in which you have to make your mark, you're not thinking about that at all right now?
Well, never thought of it, and I just like to play the game. I enjoy playing it, and I never thought of all these things.
Super. And look, you've done well for yourself. There's a IPL contract. You've made quite a bit. There are other contracts to follow. There's some prize money from the World Cup. So what do you plan to do with all this? Do you handle it? Do your advisors handle it? Do you splurge a bit? How do you handle it? Because obviously, for a young man at 19, you're suddenly making a lot of money.
My parents are there to handle all this, and I try not to concentrate much on all these things, and probably just play the game. And as everyone says, money follows. So I would just like to play for the country as soon as possible and stay there for some time.
So tell us, you must have at least one indulgence. You must have said, Papa, ye to khareedne do. What did?
No, it's aisa kuch nahi hai. Whatever I wanted, my dad doesn't stop me from buying anything. So my last buy was my car. Well, it's been time. It's been a lot of time, 6 months. But there's nothing as a no from my family. And at the same time, I also don't force them to, get me something. So it's okay.
Super. So as one last question, if you wanted to be remembered, somebody turned around and said, Unmukt Chand, what do you want to be remembered as?
First of all, a good human being, and obviously, I've played cricket from the very beginning, so 10-15 years of good cricket for the country, and then probably, I don't know after that. Let's see.
Good human being, 10-15 years of cricket sounds good to us. Thanks a lot, Unmukt Chand. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thanks.
Thank you.